So this may not be the ideal audio setup, but I'm outside here at the Black Resource Center. So you'll hear some noise in the background, but I did just want to give some highlights and updates, folks, about the Black Men's Warriors Collective. Had a great meeting last night and we're off to a great start. So I just wanted to share some highlights for those who weren't able to make it, because I think it's important for folks to know that we are here and that we are connecting. So here are the highlights. The Black Men's Warriors Collective. We meet here at the Black Resource Center at San Diego State, and we met last evening, and we're looking forward to another meeting, and I'll tell you about that a little bit later. But I'm Brandon Gamble. I'm the faculty scholar here, and I'm excited to be able to be a part of this Black Men's Warriors Collective. So last night and yesterday was the date of birth of the great warrior ancestor, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, who was the first president of Ghana. And one of his major themes or statements throughout his political career, especially when it related to the political party that he was involved in, was forward ever, backward never. Forward ever, backward never. So this Warriors Collective Creed, we are Black men and equal under the sun. We are stronger together. We are witness to each other's greatness. We encourage solutions. We advocate greatness for all. And this is coming from three different areas. One is an article titled Toward a Psychological Framework of Radical Healing in Communities of Color. The other are two books that are really important to me, and they're from Dr. Naim Akbar, titled Natural Psychology and Human Transformation, and the other is Visions for Black Men. Again, both of those by Dr. Naim Akbar. So they undergird a lot of our conversation. But I'm gonna go through this creed here, because I think it's extremely important in how we frame the discourse and the conversation. This isn't so much about mental health as it is a holistic look at manliness and being a man and being able to survive San Diego State, or being able to survive your college experience. So we are all Black men and equal under the sun. That means there's no hierarchy, right? I'm not, just because I'm Dr. Gamble or a professor or a faculty scholar here, doesn't mean that I have any more answers or solutions than someone else. I may be a little bit further down the road in age, but still, I got to deal with the sun and the rain just like everybody else. Next, we are stronger together. So many times I hear stories from young men talking about how I'm the only one in my class, or I may be one of two, and you feel alone. But when you have someone else who understands your struggle and you don't have to keep translating exactly who you are, man, it makes you stronger in that moment. And you're able to recall that moment when you are by yourself and realize you're never by yourself. This next one, we are witness to each other's greatness. We're able to congratulate and affirm each other in the moment, but also ongoing as we make it through the struggle. And so we know and we believe that we are brilliant, we're capable, and we are powerful. Next, we encourage solutions, right? It's one thing to go on and on about my pain, about my blues, about my challenges, but we also look towards what's right with Black people, what's right and correct and great and beautiful with Black people. Finally, we advocate greatness for everyone we come in contact with. If someone comes in contact with a Black man who's at San Diego State, who's graduated, you know he's been through something and you know he's rising higher and higher. So this is something we need to share with one another. So here's some of the highlights that we discussed. And I'll start with the challenges, but when we'll move towards the opportunities. So the challenges are men's ego regarding sharing, right? We may have difficulty being able to share, and we don't want to be vulnerable. I'll tell you this, folks may be vulnerable, but as a warrior, it's okay to go ahead and share, right? Next, we talk about feelings, but that may be a challenge for some, especially if you don't have the vocabulary to talk about feelings. I know for me, I generally don't like talking about feelings, and I'm a psychologist. So I generally don't push that. And my sense is that's not what we really did, but we got to feelings in another way. But challenges, yes. Involvement in many things, right? And sometimes if you want to get something done, you ask a busy person, but sometimes that busy person may have difficulty being able to slow down and take just a moment for themselves to recharge and rejuvenate, but it's important to do. Cancel culture. Sometimes there's a fear of the cancel culture in relation to what I may say, so we have difficulty saying what really may be on our mind at the moment, right? Our other concern is ratio of women to men, and sometimes feeling alone or isolated or not being able to relate or express ourselves in a way that's good for the community, right? Everybody looking at me to, and it may promote ideas of having to conform, right? How they see me because I'm so different as a Black man, because I'm so rare on a campus like San Diego State or Cal State San Marcos or UCSD, wherever you're coming from, right? And then also the other challenge is if I do have a mental health issue, finding a Black man who's a therapist, that may be another challenge. So although there's challenges out there, there's opportunities. And I'm so excited that these brothers were able to talk about these challenges as well as opportunities. So definitely to communicate with each other, express things that we need to express, right? And this may not always be feelings, this just may be a thought or a way of viewing the world, but we need to be able to have a space in which we can express those things, right? Incorporate these dialogues into another men's meetings is another opportunity. That's what we're looking forward to do. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. And we'll draw a conversation rather than a debate, right? So sometimes you get into a debate and there's always a winner and a loser in the debate. But if we have a conversation, even a dialogue, we both grow together, right? The next opportunity is code switching. Understanding that you don't have to code switch here. When you come, you can just be. But everywhere else, you may have to code switch, and that's okay, right? And being able to practice that as well. Finally, enjoying these spaces for men, particularly Black men, because the rest of the world, when it comes to the statistics and the other issues that we may face, we need these spaces. So the things we discussed, really it was warrior time. So there are many other things that we discussed, but man, and many other things that we were shared, but that stays with the group, right? That's part of confidentiality. I will say we had a good turnout and we were able to heal and develop plans to fight again. That's what really warriors do. Although it's important to heal, it's also important to fight. It's important to be able to get into the fight and fight well. So our next meeting, that's to be determined, but we plan to meet, and this is what I've been talking about, with the Student African-American Brotherhood. So this is too good to miss out, y'all. That's why I'm making this video, and I'll continue to make these videos, but watch for Instagram through the Black Resource Center for our next Black Warriors Collective moments or meetings. But you can also follow me. You can follow my YouTube page, or you can follow my Facebook page, so I'll be posting there. All right. Thanks for watching, and I hope this is helpful to someone somewhere, because Black men need to rise. Black men need to be in the collective struggle and continue to fight.